Rebellion erupts over oil lies. Trump gets an open warning from Balochistan. Imagine. What if one day the world's most powerful country announces an oil deal with a nation that itself lives in delusion about its own oil reserves? And the very next day, voices rise from within that country. This is a lie. This land is ours, not the country that's trying to sell it. How often does such a thing happen? Rarely ever. But this time, it has happened. And at a time when every nation is hyper-alert about its energy, minerals, and strategic resources. We are talking about the new energy deal between the United States and Pakistan that has now ignited a storm. And this storm has erupted from Balochistan, where 𝐼𝐻 Baloch has issued a direct warning to US President Donald Trump. This land belongs to us, and the oil, gas, and minerals it holds are our rightful share. Today, we'll dive deep into this topic. But before that, if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you receive every update of our latest videos first. Now let's begin today's discussion without delay. Let us tell you, all of this began when Donald Trump proudly announced to the world that the US had signed an energy deal with Pakistan. A deal that involved the development and extraction of oil reserves in Pakistan. But immediately after this announcement came a powerful statement from Baloch leader 𝐼𝐻 Baloch, which cast serious doubt on the truth behind the entire deal. 𝐼𝐻 Baloch declared, Trump has been misled. There are no oil reserves in Pakistan. What exists lies beneath the land of Balochistan, and that land belongs neither to Islamabad nor to General Asim Munir. This statement by the Baloch leader is not just an expression of regional discontent, it is an outright exposure of a deep political deception presented before a global superpower. 𝐼𝐻 Baloch clearly stated that Islamabad provided false information to US officials and General Asim Munir himself misled Trump. He claimed that Pakistan made this deal by falsely representing Balochistan's oil, gas, uranium, lithium, and rare earth minerals as its own, without any consent from the Baloch people. This was not just a warning, it was a bold and open resistance, and one that cannot be ignored without committing a grave strategic mistake. 𝐼𝐻 Baloch not only accused Pakistan, but also questioned the United States. He warned that if the US allows the Pakistani army access to these minerals, it would not only violate the rights of the Baloch people, but could also push the world toward another disaster like 9/11. Referring to the ISIS terrorist networks, he said, handing over Balochistan's resources to a radicalized army is equivalent to funding terrorism. This statement is a geopolitical warning, not just about human rights, but about serious questions concerning global security. Today, as the world battles over clean energy, strategic minerals, and sustainable resources, it's inevitable that the US would set its sights on the lithium and rare earth minerals buried under Balochistan. But the bigger question is, can such interest be justified without the consent of the people living on that land? In June 2025, Trump and Pakistan's army chief Asim Munir held a meeting at the White House where these mineral resources were reportedly discussed. But what's most shocking is that this deal involved land over which the Baloch people have long been demanding autonomy and independence. By ignoring this fact, the United States may have, for the first time, fueled a regional unrest that it had previously overlooked. Geographically, Balochistan may be a part of Pakistan, but socially, politically, and historically, the region considers itself entitled to a separate identity. Reports of ongoing human rights violations, military atrocities, and political oppression have continued to emerge from there. And now, with the region's underground resources being made part of an international deal, the Baloch people feel deeply betrayed. Their anger is now openly directed at leaders like Trump. In a strongly worded post, 𝐼𝐻 Baloch wrote, Balochistan is not for sale. These 5 words are a declaration of a full-scale struggle. He asserted that both America and Pakistan must understand that no part of this land or its resources can be exploited without the will of the Baloch people. He also appealed to the international community, the United Nations, and the US itself to recognize this truth and to accept the Baloch people's legitimate right to freedom and control over their natural wealth. This issue is not merely about an energy deal or oil reserves. It's about the kind of politics where the future of local communities is sold off in global agreements without their voice, without their consent. And when such matters knock on the doors of a global power that claims to stand for democracy, like the United States, the irony becomes even deeper. At a time when the world is focused on the energy needs and green mining ambitions of countries like India, China, the US, and those in Europe, it would be dangerous to forget the people who actually live in the regions where these minerals exist. Will they remain mere spectators? Or will they rise to claim their right to their land? The voice rising from Balochistan clearly answers that it's the latter. People will stand up, they will fight, and they will question. If the United States chooses to ignore this warning, it will not only fuel instability in Balochistan, but also raise serious questions about global ethics. Can a democracy strike a minerals deal with a country that is suppressing its own citizens? Can a military, accused of severe human rights violations, be entrusted with safeguarding resources worth billions? The warning from Baloch leaders is not just for Trump, it is for the entire world. When they say, Balochistan is not for sale, they're not just talking about oil or lithium. They're talking about their identity, their culture, and their fundamental rights. And when such a voice rises from the soil of a people, it should not be treated as mere news, but recognized as history in the making. Now, the decision lies with Trump and other world leaders. Will they heed this warning or dismiss it as a regional disagreement? Because history has shown, where local voices are silenced, the echoes of revolt travel far and wide.
Taught you something new. Do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.